This isn't a
This,
Coke
I should
Zero
have
can.
known
This is
better
a
than to
longer.
start fucking with you. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Yeah, is this
Anyway.
just the appetite?
What are we here to do?
In addition to being multi-talented yourself, apparently you're a prolific producer.
Yeah, kind of.
I know, but I love your humility is great because like you make stuff, you put it all together, and then it makes you money, and that's like rare to be able to do well. And you go, yeah, but
I had a thought as I was getting ready to come here this morning. I thought Steven's going to say you made movies, and then my reaction is going to be I don't make movies, and then I realized I do make movies, and I don't know why my default setting is I don't make movies, but I have made movies, and I've been in movies, and I've produced movies and documentaries and stuff like that.
Yes,
and so I don't know why I reject it, but I think it's my upbringing. But because I think of myself as sort of a comedian, podcaster or something, and maybe an author, but I never think of myself as a movie person. But I've done some of it, yes.
But I do want to talk about the films you've been in. Jared, are you going to jump in too? Because not too soon. Not too soon. Well, you little freaking.
Well, don't key me up to jump in and tell me not to jump in.
So hold on a second. My point is, what are the films? That to this day, like I was in The Usual Suspects, so I really can't say, oh yeah, whatever. That kind of sucked here and there. It was pretty cool all the way through.
Yeah.
So what are the things you participated in that were pretty cool all the way through? Back in the day, whatever.
Well, I made a boxing movie called The Hammer, and it was kind of our first independent film, and people liked that film a lot, and it didn't get into any kind of rotation, so people kind of discover it down the road.
Which is now that trend is more popular than ever. Go ahead.
Yeah, it's like my 19-year-old daughter told me she watched it with a few friends of hers, 19-year-olds who, I made the movie 19 years ago, so I know she was literally born. My twins were. I remember we brought them to the set in their bassinets, So and people sort of discover it and they like it, but on some sort of super delayed gratification thing. It's not, movie that comes out, does box office, and then, people turn the page. So that's one that again, I kind of listen to the people. If nobody liked it, then I probably wouldn't like it. And it was also like organic. I came up with the idea for it. I just started doing morning radio, taking over for Howard Stern on the West Coast.
Right.
And it was also like a sheer will kind of thing. Cause I said to my agent, I said, I really want to make this independent film. And he said, do you think that's a good idea? You just took over for Howard Stern. Why don't you focus on that?
Amen.
And he said, do you think this is a good time to do that? And I said, there's never a good time to make an independent film.
Right.
It's always a cluster F. No, there's no money. There's no time. It wouldn't work, And I said, look, we got 2 weeks off coming up for Christmas or whatever it was, 13 days or something. I said, we got to start shooting this movie right at the Christmas break, my Christmas break. And then I'll see if I can muddle through like the last week of it while I'm back at work. But that's not going to be easy because I got to get up at 4:30 every morning.
Right.
And, if you look at that movie, there's a scene at the end where I'm in the gym. I got the keys. I came into the gym in the middle of the night, and I'm pounding away on the heavy bag sort of cathartically. And there's a clock up on the wall. It wasn't even supposed to be, it's not in the movie script, but there just was a clock on the wall. And the clock says like 3:45, and that's what time it was. By the time we got to my last scene, it was, and I basically just left the set and went to the morning show, and it wasn't easy, but people seem to enjoy the movie, so I'll take it.
It's a really good movie. I'm just gonna come out and say it. Yeah, it's
Keep-
fantastic.
No, that's the perfect segue. What
Yeah.
else?
Well, I mean,
Was
I
there
feel
anything specific to Hammer you wanted to ask?
oh yeah, I mean, it was somewhat autobiographical. I remember listening to your radio show at the time, so that's how I got to see it. And I remember because you boxed and you worked in contracting, and
Yeah, it was very autobiographical and very kind of go with what you know, and you know, I have always been a huge proponent of sort of, if you know this subject or this world, then that's the world you should be chronicling.
yeah,
Mhm.
And it always bothered me when there'd be like a film and it'd have construction guys and their tool bags were brand new, like shiny leather, and they had a little dinky finish hammer, but they were framing, you know, and I'm like, that's a finish, it's not a framing hammer. And they're wearing their hard hat into the bar that night, like
Yeah.
they don't leave it in the truck, you know, like it's like I'd go, stupid, that's stupid, you know, and it always bothered me when stuff was phony. So
and you
that
got that
movie
into
we
the
did.
movie.
What's
There's
that?
that moment in the movie where where the bag falls, and you're like, you hung this with a
Toggle bolts.
yeah,
Yeah.
which is a great moment. Yeah, you get your joke in, and then it gets the guys mad at you. I remember this movie.
Oh, good.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I'm glad you enjoyed it.
Yeah, and it's really funny too. Yeah.
But I've
Yeah.
asked you this question before too, which is, but way back, you must have been in cameos and movies and TV shows.
Yes, yes.
Remind me, what's the most fun cameos you did?
Uh, well, they're all kind of a pain in the ass because I always worked almost full time.
Right.
You know, so it wasn't
And by the way, you just let me interrupt. Forgive me. Remember that idea, please. But when you talk about radio, young people today don't understand what you had to do a radio show in what year, Adam?
I started full time, but again, it's not full time because
But
you don't work
working
8
for
hours.
Howard for what year?
Oh, well, I was doing Loveline before that.
What year?
That would have been 95, 96.
Right, which is
probably.
forever ago
I know.
for some people.
Yeah, yeah.
But young people, here's Billy Zane doing Waltzing with Brando, and you say to kids today, like Brando, they don't know. They don't know.
Yeah.
It's
Well,
fascinating.
the thing about radio is it's not quite show business. You know,
Right.
it's like combination of show business and working at a postal sorting facility in Arleta. You know, it's got a lot of real work to it.
Right.
You know, but then it's got some showbiz
Right.
to it too, you know?
yep.
So I always worked and if I was doing, like, I'll give you an example. I guest starred along with Dr. Drew on Dawson's Creek.
Yes.
We were a whole episode of Dawson's Creek.
No.
And I did. Now, the other thing about me is I never cared about anything. I was like, yeah, okay, Dawson's Creek. Yeah, that's fine, Dawson's Creek. But what I didn't realize is
I love this.
I realized that we were going to, Wilmington, North Carolina. We're in one of the Carolinas where they filmed it, right?
Right.
Well, I didn't really do the math that they were 3 hours ahead. And Drew and I always continued to do the radio show wherever we went. So I would go to New York, and I would go to New York to sit in with Howard Stern, back in the day for a week or 5 days or whatever it was.
Right.
And I realized,
Guest host.
yeah, I'd sit in the Artie chair. But I realized we're doing our radio show from 1 to 3 a.m. in East Coast time.
Oh,
and
right.
then Drew and I would leave CBS, whatever studio, and walk back to our hotel. And I would go to bed at like 4, and then Stern started at 6 a.m. So
Right,
I did a
right.
lot of that, where like I would just go to bed at 4, get up at 5:15, and go to do Stern for 5 hours.
Right.
And Dawson's Creek, we did Loveline. Dawson's Creek, we filmed for 1 week. We filmed, Monday, Tuesday, went for a week. Loveline was Sunday night to Thursday night.
Right.
So we went from 1 to 3 every night And my call time was 6:30 every morning, you know? So it was a whole week.
But your whole sleep cycle had to be broken up.
I was going to bed at 4 in the morning, getting up at 5:30,
Right.
and then going into Dawson's Creek. And I would then film it in the creek, but that's the show was called.
Exactly.
And then I would go into my trailer and I would go, you have no idea how sleep deprived I am.
Right.
Now, I'm not going to hold you up, but just let me lay here. Just come get me when you need me. Just don't get me until you need me. But
it was little Dawson's Creek.
and then it'd be like bang, bang, bang on the door. And I'd go, I'd be
Please,
just be on my back. And I'd go up, I'd go, yeah. And they'd go, 20 minutes. And I'd go, okay, just get me when you need me.
So this is
Just
your
get me
one
when
bad
you need
movie.
me. Get me when you need me. And they'd go, okay. And then bang on the door, 10 minutes. Okay. And then they'd come get me. And I'd be standing there in the set, and then you'd stand there for an hour while they lit it, you know, or whatever. And you're like, just let me sleep.
We could have been contenders, Adam.
We could have been contenders, Brando.
We could have had them waiting for us to the last minute.
Guys, thank you for watching the video. Please don't forget to like, subscribe, and subscribe wherever you get your podcast to hear the full episode.
One bad movie.
Its rawness. We get real and raw. Where should they follow you, Steven?
At One Bad Movie.
Oh, okay.
Put hashtag One Bad Movie.
Guilty pleasures misunderstood. So bad it's good.